So anyway, college life. So I decided to go to the University of Delaware for college. So the University of Delaware is at the very, very northern point of the lovely state of Delaware right here. There it is on a map. You can see my lovely animation skills. I joke with my students in my class. I'm a professor right now. I don't know if we established at the beginning of the talk, but my students are now always roll their eyes at my animation skills. Pretty subpar. So yeah, basically very top of Delaware is where the University of Delaware is located. It's a really beautiful campus. I highly encourage you to check it out. I could be your chemistry professor perhaps one day if you apply. So make sure that you come visit me on campus if you and your family come take a tour. For all colleges, a lot of times the colleges will try to recruit you, will invite you to their campus, and you'll be able to get a feel for the school. You know, every school will give off a different vibe. So if you come to visit Delaware, you'll have to let me know. Some fun facts about Delaware: our mascot is a blue hen. We're the fighting blue hens. Don't laugh, Jenna. It's very intimidating. All right, it's very intimidating. Anyway, so that's our mascot. And I majored in chemistry. I continued to do outreach. I love outreach, and so I continued to do that a lot when I was at Delaware. And so I made shirts for my friends and I. We were doing an outreach recruitment type of event with some, again, chemistry demonstrations. So I made all of us a letter of the periodic table. So we're all in elements. So fluorine, uranium, and nitrogen. Spell out fun, because chemistry is fun. You get it? You get it? It worked well when we were all standing in this order where it was like the F, the U, and the N. But sometimes, like my friend Tom, he was the U here, would like go, walk it up to another table. And it just it didn't really make sense. You needed to have the whole gang together in that order for the message to be like well received. But it was fun when it works out like that. Anyway, so when I was at the University of Delaware, when I first entered Delaware, I always loved teaching as well. And so I was kind of oscillating between the idea of becoming a high school chemistry teacher, because again, Mr. Bauer, my high school chemistry teacher, was so amazing. And I really, really wanted to inspire other students the same way that Mr. Bauer inspired me. But I wasn't sure if I wanted to do that at the high school level or at the college level. And once I was about a sophomore at the University of Delaware, I discovered the wonderful world of undergraduate research, which I did not know existed. I did not know that me, as a lowly undergraduate student, could conduct meaningful research in a laboratory and actually make a difference in people's lives. But I discovered that, and that's something that is going on at all different schools, regardless of what your discipline is, whether it's in the arts and the humanities or in the sciences, in the STEM fields. Research at the undergraduate level, which is just a fancy word for like when you're in college, you should definitely take advantage of these opportunities, because it can be really, really exciting and can really make a difference. So me, as literally just an 18-year-old freshman college student, I was already working to try to stop Crohn's disease. It was really, really cool. So my focus was organic chemistry. I'll talk more about that in just a minute, but I had an amazing principal investigator. So the person who's in charge of the labs when we do research, we call it a principal investigator. It sounds almost like a secret agent type of name, right? Very, very fancy. So we abbreviate it as PI for short. So my principal investigator, PI, was Professor Catherine Grimes. She's still at Delaware, still doing awesome research. So if you're excited about what I'll describe in just a minute or so, keep her on your radar. So maybe you'll be ending up working in her lab one day, and then I can say hello to you, because my office will be like down the hall. Anyway, so my project, or our whole lab in general, we were trying to stop, like I said before, Crohn's disease, which is an inflammatory bowel disorder. Usually, at least, people usually have heard of it because unfortunately, they know at least like one family member or like a friend of a friend who suffers from this disease. And it's really unfortunate. It's characterized by pain and inflammation in your gut, like in your digestive tract. And the very interesting thing about Crohn's disease is we still don't know. We've known that Crohn's disease has existed for a while now, but we still are not exactly certain as to what actually causes Crohn's disease to manifest itself and like creating such discomfort for people. So that's what our lab was trying to study. One of the leads in the field is that it could be caused by a missensing of bacteria within our gut. And so I feel like this is whenever I'm describing this to my friends or my family, that's the time that all of my, like, some of my friends and family at least just look at me like I have three heads. Like, what? Like bacteria in your gut? I don't know if you guys know this for everyone tuning in, but did you all know that we are more bacteria than we are human? I know, right? It's wild, but
There's
there's
I forget what the statistic is, but there's like a crazy statistic for like every cell in your body. There's like, I don't want to say a number because it's going to be the wrong number, but there's a lot more bacteria than the cells in your body.
yes,
And
there's
it's like insane number.
at least 10 bacterial cells for every one human cell. So we are at least 10 times more bacteria than we are human. And before people start like freaking out about that, that's okay. Some bacteria actually work with us. We need bacteria to be healthy. So bacteria are living on us and within us all the time. So there are bacteria on our skin. Even if we wash our face really well, there's still going to be bacteria there, but that's okay. Most of the bacteria that exists either on us or within us are good bacteria. If you eat yogurt, you might think of like live cultures in your yogurt. You might have seen that on like your yogurt label. It might say
Mhm.
like live cultures on the side of it. What that actually means is it's actually live bacteria that you are ingesting, and it's supposed to be beneficial to help your body. So they're not bacteria are not all evil species, but there are some bad bacteria, some pathogenic species that exist within us as well. And normally, our immune system is able to recognize these bacteria as being pathogenic or foreign, and our immune system will attack it and destroy it and kill it. And that's all great and fine. But for Crohn's disease, what sometimes happens is that there's a missensing of bacteria. So the theory right now is that some of the good bacteria within our gut actually get mistaken as being bad. And so that causes an inappropriate immune response to arise, which leads to the pain and inflammation of Crohn's disease. So it was just so exciting that I was able to be doing research, conducting undergraduate research that had a direct application to try to like help patients that were struggling with Crohn's disease by trying to understand the mechanism of exactly what causes it. So that was really, really important research for me. I really liked the idea of being able to use chemistry, what I was learning about chemistry, and be able to apply it to the real world, especially biology and the health field, where I would be able to help people. My aunt actually suffers from Crohn's disease, so I also had like a personal connection. But just being able to help people, like using my knowledge of some like science field to directly benefit humans' health and life, I thought that was the coolest thing. And so the rest of my undergraduate years at Delaware, I stayed in that same lab for 3 years. I loved every minute of it. I met some incredible lab mates. So one of the awesome things about working in a research lab is you'll learn that science, like most things in life, is not meant to be isolating. So you might have seen some pictures on TV of like someone like alone at the lab late at night, like working, like I don't know, pipetting different liquids back and forth all by themselves in isolation. But real world science is not like that at all. We're all a team. Everyone in the lab is a team trying to help each other. There are always multiple people working on each other's projects. So team projects, I know a lot of you might be thinking of team projects and like, oh boy, like I do not like working in teams at all. Well, when you're with the right team, the right group of people, it can be amazing what you can create. And you'll also learn to work with different people from different cultures, different backgrounds, different values as well. So you get to learn a lot about just working with people in general by doing research. So I had the pleasure of working with so many incredible lab mates across all different backgrounds in terms of age, ethnicity. Some people were from Taiwan and China. Some people were from America, West Coast, East Coast. It was just so incredible to work with them and learn from them. We're all so unique and we bring something different to the table. I came from a chemistry background, an organic chemistry background specifically, but I was also able to learn from biologists in our lab and microbiologists. So again, so many different disciplines, a very interdisciplinary lab that I worked in. So all different aspects of scientific research and expertise coming together to solve a common problem, but from totally different angles and viewpoints as to how to approach this problem. So working together and learning to think creatively with them was just something that was so much fun. And as you can tell by these pictures, we had a lot of fun both in the lab, but also out of the lab as well. So scientists can go outside. That is one of the things. We're not all Sheldon Coopers. Although honestly, Sheldon Cooper has a pretty decent social life. Like if you're into the Big Bang Theory, like I'll go out to like a restaurant, right? And he has like game nights every like Thursday. Anyway, we're a little bit more fluid with our schedule than Sheldon Cooper's schedule. But yeah, we have a ton of fun out of the lab as well. And so, along with my lab mates who helped encourage me to continue doing research and continuing to grow as a scientist, I also had an incredible mentoring family of different professors at my undergrad institution of Delaware as well. And I think that this is something that is well known, but doesn't get said enough, that just how important it is to have a family of mentors and such a solid support system that can encourage you and guide you every step of the way. And so I just want to give a shout out to my awesome professors who helped me get to where I am today as a professor myself. I definitely wouldn't be the educator or the person or the scientist that I am today without them. And the coolest thing is that some of them were my teachers all throughout undergrad. So some of my professors I had since I was a freshman and stayed in touch with them and, was able to talk with them every single year from my freshman year through my senior year of college. Other people who were my mentors, like my research mentor, my PI, my principal investigator. Others, I took one class with this guy, Hal White. He is an incredible educator. I took a biochemistry class with him. And we just totally meshed. We both have a deep passion of inspiring undergraduates to become lifelong learners. We both are really passionate about education and best practices for helping undergraduates learn and get the most out of their education. And so I would sometimes just pop into his office and we would talk about education for like hours. And when I would come back to visit him in grad school, he would give me so many tips that I wasn't even looking for. It was totally like I was just talking with him and he would give me advice without even meaning to give me advice about just things that I could do to keep growing as a scientist and as an educator. And so I will always look up to him as well as everyone else that you see. Their mentorship is just definitely a fundamental aspect of my growth and ability to transform my undergraduate self into the confident scientist that I am today, for sure.